Michelle Duggar remains in California after Jinger Duggar welcomes son. Jinger Duggar is soaking in the newborn moments with her son, Finnegan Charles Wulo. He was born last weekend, just one day after Jinger's due date. Since then, things have been a whirlwind. Michelle Duggar arrived in California nearly a week before Finn was born, and it appears that she plans to stick around for a while. During a recent Q&A session, Jinger hosted on Instagram, the Counting on Star answered questions sent in by followers. One of them was about whether the grandmas were still in town. Jinger Duggar reveals Michelle Duggar is still in California. It's been over a week since Michelle Duggar arrived in California to be present for the birth of Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Wulo's first son. She attends several of the births of her grandchildren and often helps with the recovery process with her daughters. This time is no different. When Jinger was asked whether Grandma was still there, she replied with a sweet photo of her and Michelle together as they gazed at Finn. While Jeremy's parents left earlier in the week, Michelle is sticking around. Jinger did not disclose when her mom would be headed back to Arkansas. She revealed that Michelle was helping her recover and the late nights with Finn. Jinger also acknowledged the community support they have. Jinger Duggar and Michelle Duggar have a complicated relationship. Things haven't always been easy as an adult between Jinger Duggar and her mom, Michelle Duggar. When Jinger married Jeremy Wulo, she began wearing pants and shorts, which complicated things between her and her parents. She was raised to wear only skirts and dresses, as pants were considered immodest. She also decided to write a book about moving away from the teachings of Bill Gothard and untangling what she was raised to believe versus what was in the Bible. However, Michelle has always kept a relationship with her daughter, even if it was at arm's length. She attended the births of Jinger's children and even visited with some of the older siblings between Evangeline and Finn's births. Things seem to have settled between the mother and daughter, and in more recent months, Jinger has had nothing but high praise for her mother, realizing that she tried her best despite what happened in the home growing up. It's unclear how long Michelle will remain in California, but we suspect it will be at least through the weekend. Michelle Duggar remains in California after Jinger welcomes son, a new chapter in the Golden State. Under the golden haze of the California sun, a new kind of chapter has quietly begun for the Duggar family matriarch. Michelle Duggar, once firmly rooted in the rolling hills of northwest Arkansas, now finds herself lingering in the vibrant sprawl of Los Angeles. And for a heartfelt reason. Her daughter, Jinger Duggar Wulo, just welcomed her third child, a healthy baby boy, and Michelle's maternal instincts aren't letting her leave just yet. It wasn't meant to be a long stay. A suitcase, a small carry-on, and a heart full of love. That's all Michelle packed when she boarded the flight to LA just a few weeks ago. The plan was simple. Help Jinger during the first chaotic days after delivery, then head home. But plans have a funny way of changing when babies are involved, especially when you're a mother of 19 who spent decades nurturing tiny humans. I came to help, Michelle said in a rare moment of pause on Jinger and Jeremy's back porch. And then, I realized I wasn't ready to go. Jinger, now a seasoned mom herself, has settled beautifully into California life with her husband, pastor and author Jeremy Wulo. The pair, known for breaking away from some of the more rigid rules of the Duggar household, have built a new rhythm in Los Angeles, one of farmers' markets, beach days, and late-night baby snuggles under softly dimmed Edison bulbs. The arrival of their baby boy, name yet to be shared publicly, brought an outpouring of love and attention, not just from their fans, but from family near and far. Michelle was the first to arrive, stepping into her daughter's kitchen with warm casseroles and soothing lullabies that she sung to babies since the early 1990s. And although Jinger and Jeremy had a postpartum doula on standby, Michelle quickly became the heart of the household. She just gets it, Jinger said, laughing softly. Even when I think I'm doing everything right, she'll notice something tiny, like the baby's swaddle being a little too loose, and just fix it with one gentle move. But her stay has stretched longer than planned. Days turned into weeks, and now Michelle's routine looks far different from her structured life back in Arkansas. Mornings begin with the sounds of gulls and cooing, not the cacophony of 10 children clamoring for breakfast. She's taken to walks with Jinger along the tree-lined streets of Pasadena, stopping at cafes with oat milk lattes and avocado toast. It's a new world, but one she's not entirely unfamiliar with. She's adapting, Jeremy said with a grin. I caught her listening to Jack Johnson the other day while folding baby clothes. I never thought I'd see the day. Beyond the lighthearted cultural shifts, Michelle's extended stay seems to reflect something deeper, a quiet transformation, a softening of old expectations. While she remains deeply rooted in her faith and her love for all 19 of her children, there's a serenity to her presence in California, a kind of openness that's hard to miss. Back in Arkansas, the Duggar compound carries on, of course. Older siblings are juggling their own broods, and Jim Bob, Michelle's husband, has been holding down the fort. Sources close to the family say he's supportive of Michelle's time with Jinger and the new baby, though the house feels noticeably quieter without her. She's the glue, said a family friend. Even when the kids are grown, Michelle's presence just brings this calm to the chaos. Jinger and Michelle have used the time together not just to bond over baby baths and burp cloths, but to reconnect, woman to woman, mother to daughter, friend to friend. They've talked long into the night about everything from changing diapers to changing beliefs, from raising toddlers to raising eyebrows with their evolving life choices. It's no secret that Jinger and Jeremy have taken steps away from the strict teachings she grew up with, a journey she candidly shared in her memoir, Becoming Free Indeed. While not every conversation has been easy, Michelle's presence now speaks volumes more than words ever could. Love can look like staying longer than you planned, Jinger said. It can look like making coffee in a house that doesn't run on your same rules, and it can mean holding your daughter's hand through her own motherhood journey. For Michelle, the transition hasn't been without its adjustments. She chuckled about using Google Maps to find a grocery store, navigating late traffic, and learning how to work an espresso machine. What happened to just coffee pots? She joked. But the heart of her stay is crystal clear. I'm here because she needs me, Michelle said. And maybe I need this too. Friends close to the family say Michelle's time in California has sparked something new in her. Not a departure from who she is, but an expansion. They describe her as more relaxed, more present, and deeply attuned to the changing tides of her children's lives. She's a woman who raised 19 kids. She knows how to hold space for different journeys, one source noted. California Michelle is just a little more sun-kissed and maybe a bit more adventurous. No one knows exactly how long she'll stay. For now, the days stretch out with baby snuggles, warm laughter, and quiet moments that feel suspended in time. Jinger is healing. The baby is thriving. And Michelle? She's learning that sometimes being a mother doesn't end. It just transforms. There are whispers among fans. Will she move there permanently? Start spending winters on the West Coast? Begin splitting her time between her children like a modern nomadic matriarch? For now, there are no firm answers, and Michelle isn't rushing the decision. I'll know when it's time to go, she said softly. Right now, it's time to stay. And so she does. Amidst the eucalyptus trees and ocean breeze, in a sun-filled nursery filled with lullabies and light, Michelle Duggar, wife, mother, grandmother, remains. In California, with her daughter and newborn grandson, she is both grounding and growing, one gentle rocking motion at a time.